Okay, my favorite thing that somebody asked the other day is, it was a lender, unfortunately, that said, well, title company, now that you're not preparing the closing disclosure, what are you going to do with all your free time? Yeah. Are you going to start reducing all your fee, your escrow fee, because you don't do anything anymore? Now wait a minute, it's important that we understand the roles here and what hasn't changed. We've been talking about a lot of change here, but it's important to know what hasn't changed. The title company, your settlement agent, will still perform all the core functions they've always followed. They perform the search and exam. You take your contract to them. You deposit your earnest money with them, just like you always did. They will perform the search and examination of the property. They will still produce a commitment. They will still conduct the physical closing where those people come together, right? Maybe they won't come together as much anymore. Talk about that in a second. They will prepare the seller's side of the settlement statement. They will receipt in money and disperse funds, cut the checks, make the payoff, record all the instruments, issue a policy of title insurance, and pay and handle covered claims. The only difference is we will now work with the creditor to produce the borrower's side of the closing disclosure. That's really the only change in our function in all this. There's been a lot of rumors going around that because of privacy issues, that the buyer and the seller can't be in the room together at the same time anymore. Let me say first, if lender's instructions say the buyer and the seller can't be in the room together, then those instructions have to be followed, if that's what the lender instructions say. Otherwise, if you want them to be in the same room together, they can be, but it's going to be very important that no private financial data of the borrower is disclosed to the other side. So you may see changes at the title company where they do put them in separate rooms, just for that instance. Or if they're in the same room before the closer begins going over the documents, she turns to the borrower and says, is it okay if I discuss your private financial data in front of the individuals in this room? And if that borrower says no, then they have to leave. They say, yes, that's fine, then we can proceed. This protection of privacy is really key under the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. The lenders are very concerned about it. The title companies are very concerned about it. So you may see also changes in how things are conducted. I know Mary's been closing here for 20 years, and she comes in the back door, and she walks in and she gets herself a cup of coffee. She wanders from office to office. It's not going to be acceptable anymore. It's just not going to work. There's going to be a receptionist desk. No one's allowed past certain points. We're implementing new procedures for the protection of private information. And so you cannot, and it's not because we don't, the title company doesn't like you or doesn't want your business or doesn't respect you or doesn't trust you and think you're going to steal something. It's because of these new rules and procedures that you're going to see changes there. And free circulation about a title insurance office is not going to be the way it was before. So that's just something to keep in mind.